Anyway, but my husband had an instructor from Holland and we invited her classes to our house.
I don't know. I mean, I
So the ice that we see at the base of that glacier face is about 400 years old. So that's 400 years old. Pretty incredible if you think about it.
very close. Well, not a young, our middle grandson's.
As we're seeing more and more little icebergs, you're going to be looking for the really blue ones, which are the densest icebergs, and lights reflected from them. If you're interested in learning more about how light works and reflection, there's Riley's theory that you can take a look at a little bit further, and it just gets really in depth in it. So remember, the bluest icebergs are the densest. The white ones have a lot of air bubbles in them, so those are the two main types that we're going to see here. And we're still crossing our fingers to see some calving, because being an advancing active glacier, there is a lot of calving that goes on here. The areas on the face that you see the most blue, that's the most recently calved areas. Sometimes the calving can be as large as 10-story high buildings, so let's cross our fingers.
There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah.
At about 12 o'clock.
Right on.
Now make some more noise if you're on the open decks, because we want to see some more calving.
Look at that.
Oh, there's calving coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks, son. Look, it's still doing it, Ron. It's straight. Still calving. I smell it.
There it goes.
There it goes again. It's right in that little area. Look at the deep that hole. Yeah. Can you see the hole up in it's dark blue.
Yeah.
There's some more calving happening at about 12 o'clock, so if you're outside, listen for that, and that's again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, keep going. No, no, no.
No, don't. Oh, yeah. You'd like to see that big chunk there come off. Looks like it's about ready to go, but it won't.
Just went down. Just went down.
And we are seeing lots of calving right now, especially because we are turning on the starboard side, so that's where you want to be. Again, that is starboard as we start to make the turn in front of the beautiful, beautiful Hubbard Glacier.
Oh, you're over here, Mike. It's over the first one.
Oh, did you guess
Over there.
I missed it.
There's more.
See, it's still going.
Oh, I see it.
It's a nice flash. She said
here in Southeast Alaska. So if you have a curiosity about what it's like to grow up in a small southeastern Alaskan town, feel free to corner one of them and ask your questions. They'd be happy to share. Our captain does not mind being distracted. In fact, he prefers that, driving the boats. Depending on the safety of the circumstances in order to give you the best view. But at any point in time, please leave a hand available for the backs of the seats or the railings outside. If you're juggling binoculars or cameras, it's good to widen your stance and lean up against the railing or the seats in order to increase your stability. But if you do happen to see somebody go overboard, please shout loudly and point and stay pointing at them until we direct you to, because Alaska had so many gold rush individuals and other men and possibly women during the time they came in, because of the adventure and because of the frontier of it, and because of the gold of it, they came to a point in their lives and their age when they needed a little extra help or some place to live because they couldn't quite do it by themselves. And so on your own island, in this case you'd own a piece of property on an island, then we have some islands that you might fit your goal there. You can either buy the whole one or just some property. But you do have to take on somewhat of a commitment in order to do that. Sit down, Miss. These lines here have his 2 feet in them that would help him to grasp on to rocks or other hard substrate in order to hold on as the waves are moving in and out and keep him from being tumbled in the waves. This is also how he would hunt or feed. And the way he would do that is to use these arms, or these 2 feet here, and grab onto that item. They are mussel or clam eaters, bivalve eaters. They will move over the top of them. This is called the sun star. Now, where you saw with the other one that it has 5 arms, which is very typical of most of the sea star species, there is one that's called the 6-armed star. Can you imagine how many arms it has? Maybe 6. This one is the sun star. This one will have up to 36 arms or so. And oftentimes, because it does have so many arms, that and I don't see any particularly showing up right now, that it's either lost some or it is you see evidence of regrowing them. They can lose their arms and regenerate them as long as the center body, the core, is intact. Itself, you see the evidence of the animal. So somewhere at high tide, we're on a lowering tide. I think we're supposed to hit low tide, what, about 11:30? We're supposed to hit low tide, so 6 hours ago, give or take, 11:30, was high tide. So along the high tide, the bear came down, the deer came down. I have deer for tracks here. The deer came down. Indians don't really eat it though. Yes, they do. They do. They harvest it in the spring when it's about this tall. They'll harvest it and then they take what was described to me as the furry stuff off. I have to wait until next spring. I didn't know until last year exactly how it was. But they take the furry stuff from the outside off and then they take the have a little more patience with us. Make sure, please, that the flashes are off on your camera and that you keep noise and action down to a minimum. And that say thank you so much for letting us take you out on this spectacular day and just show you a little bit of where we live and what we get to see every day. We hope that you enjoyed it. We wish you the very best of the rest of your day, the very best of the rest of your trip. Thank you so much for letting us take you out today.